Hi, I'm Doug Matlock, and this is my story. When I was younger, I remember I had a picture that I had drawn up on my wall of God. It was a typical picture that someone might think of when they think of God, just as an old guy looking. He had a beard, had a robe, and he had his hands out. And then I had God written in big letters above him. And I was a kid. I believed there was God, but really, I just thought he was kind of up in the sky. I believed he made everything, but I didn't really know much more about him than that. And so that's kind of who I thought God was. Also, though, when I was a kid, my parents would take me a lot to these Bible schools that churches would have that for last like a week. So I would go to a lot of those, throughout the summer, and I'd go and I'd have fun, and I enjoyed doing it. But I mean, that's kind of all it was just kind of something fun, and I knew there was a God.
Build a home for you, for me.
When I was 8, my family and I moved to Oklahoma. We moved to Ada, and one of the first things I did was go to one of these Bible schools here in town, and they call it the Vacation Bible School. It was at this Vacation Bible School that I learned about who God really was and about Jesus, his son. I learned that I was a sinner, someone who had fallen short from perfection in God's eyes, someone who wasn't good enough and couldn't measure up, and that I never really could measure up. There wasn't anything I could do to get to heaven. And that God sent his son Jesus to die, to pay the price for my sins so that I could go to heaven. And so right then, God went from this picture on a wall, this big guy upstairs, to someone who had a plan for my life now and even my life when I died. And see, before this, I had just thought that, well, when we die, we're buried. And I remember telling my mom one time, I really hope we get a second chance, or something. And now I learned that there was something beyond this life. I learned that God was making a home for me. At that time that I felt God calling me to follow him and give my life to him. So I did. So I asked Jesus to forgive me of my sins, and I said I'm going to follow him with my entire life, and that's what I did. And so now, the God who is a drawing on my wall has become more than just some kind of figment of my imagination. He's someone that I don't know of, but I know because I have a relationship with him. My name's Doug, and that's my story. What's yours?